Photograph a historic site, help Wikipedia, and win a prize. Participate in the world's largest photography competition this month. Learn more. Cinema of the United States. 44 languages. Cinema of the United States. Hollywood. The Hollywood sign in the Hollywood Hills, often regarded as the symbol of the American film industry. No of screens 40,393, 2017, 1. Per capita 14 per 100,000, 2017, 1. Main distributors Disney. Walt Disney Pictures. 20th Century Studios. Sony. Columbia Pictures. TriStar Pictures. Comcast. Universal Pictures. Paramount Global. Paramount Pictures. Warner Brothers. Discovery. Warner Brothers. Pictures. New Line Cinema. Amazon. MGM. American Film redirects here. For the magazine, see American Film Magazine. The Cine. Marav. The Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. Produced feature films, 2016, 2. Fictional 646, 98.5%. Animated 10, 1.5%. Number of admissions, 2017, 4. Total 1,239,742,550. Per capita 3.9, 2010, 3. Gross box office, 2017, 4. Total $11.1 billion. United States, consisting mainly of major film studios, also known metonymously as Hollywood, along with some independent films, has had a large effect on the global film industry since the early 20th century. The dominant style of American cinema is classical Hollywood cinema, which developed from 1910 to 1962 and is still typical of most films made in America today. While Frenchmen Auguste and Louis Lumière are generally credited with the birth of modern cinema, 5. American cinema soon came to be a dominant force in the emerging industry. With more than 600 English-language films released on average every year as of 2017, it produced the fourth largest number of films of any national cinema, after India, Japan, and China. 6. While the national cinemas of the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand also produce films in the same language, they are not part of the Hollywood system. Because of this, Hollywood has also been considered a transnational cinema, 7, and has produced multiple language versions of some titles, often in Spanish or French. Contemporary Hollywood often outsources production to the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. The major film studios of Hollywood are the primary source of the most commercially successful and most ticket-selling movies in the world. 8. 9. Hollywood is considered to be the oldest film industry, in the sense of being the place where the earliest film studios and production companies emerged. It is the birthplace of various genres of cinema, 10, among them comedy, drama, action, the musical, romance, horror, science fiction, dubious discuss, and epic, and has set the example for other national film industries. During 1878, Edward Muybridge demonstrated the power of photography to capture motion. In 1894, the world's first commercial motion picture exhibition was given in New York City, using Thomas Edison's kinetoscope. 11. In the following decades, production of silent film greatly expanded, studios formed and migrated to California, and the films and stories they told became much longer. The United States produced the world's first sync-sound musical film, The Jazz Singer, in 1927-12, and was at the forefront of sound film development in the following decades. Since the early 20th century, the U.S. film industry has primarily been based in and around the 30-mile zone centered in the Hollywood neighborhood of Los Angeles County, California. Director D.W. Griffith was central to the development of a film grammar. Orson Welles' Citizen Kane, 1941, is frequently cited in critics' polls as the greatest film of all time. 13. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. Justice D. Bonds in The Great Train Robbery, 1903, considered by some to be the first Western. Harold Lloyd in The Clock Scene. From Safety Last. 1923. Many of Hollywood's highest-grossing movies have generated more box office revenue and ticket sales outside the United States than films made elsewhere. The United States is a leading pioneer in motion picture engineering and technology. History, edit. Main article, History of Cinema in the United States. Origins and Fort Lee, edit. See also, silent film. The first recorded instance of photographs capturing and reproducing motion was a series of photographs of a running horse by Edward Muybridge, which he took in Palo Alto, California, using a set of still cameras placed in a row. Muybridge's accomplishment led inventors everywhere to attempt to make similar devices. In the United States, Thomas Edison was among the first to produce such a device, the kinetoscope. Citation needed. The history of cinema in the United States can trace its roots to the East Coast where, at one time, Fort Lee, New Jersey, was the motion picture capital of America. The industry got its start at the end of the 19th century with the construction of Thomas Edison's Black Maria, the first motion picture studio in West Orange, New Jersey. The cities and towns on the Hudson River and Hudson Palisades offered land at costs considerably less than New York City across the river and benefited greatly as a result of the phenomenal growth of the film industry at the turn of the 20th century. 14, 15, 16, 17. The industry began attracting both capital and an innovative workforce. In 1907, when the Column Company began using Fort Lee as a location for filming in the area, other filmmakers quickly followed. In 1909, a forerunner of Universal Studios, the Champion Film Company, built the first studio. 18 others quickly followed and either built new studios or leased facilities in Fort Lee. In the 1910s and 1920s, film companies such as the Independent Moving Pictures Company, Peerless Studios, the Solex Company, Eclair Studios, Goldwyn Picture Corporation, American Malays, Star Films, World Film Company, Biograph Studios, Fox Film Corporation, Puth Frères, Metro Pictures Corporation. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. Victor Film Company, and Scenic Pictures Corporation were all making pictures in Fort Lee. Such notables as Mary Pickford got their start at Biograph Studios. 19, 20, 21. In New York, the Kaufman Astoria Studios in Queens, which was built during the silent film era, was used by the Marx Brothers and W.C. Fields. The Edison Studios were located in the Bronx. Chelsea, Manhattan, was also frequently used. Other eastern cities, most notably Chicago and Cleveland, also served as early centers for film production. 22, 23. In the West, California was already quickly emerging as a major film production center. In Colorado, Denver was home to the Artograph Film Company, and Walt Disney's early Laugh-O-Gram animation studio was based in Kansas City, Missouri. From 1908, Jacksonville, Florida's motion picture industry saw more than 30 silent film companies establish studios in town, including Column Studios, Metro Pictures, later MGM, Edison Studios, Majestic Films, 24, King B Film Company, Vim Comedy Company, Norman Studios, Gaumont Studios and the Lubin Manufacturing Company. Picture City, Florida, was a planned site for a movie picture production center in the 1920s, but due to the 1928 Okeechobee hurricane, the idea collapsed and Picture City returned to its original name of Hope Sound. An attempt to establish a film production center in Detroit also proved unsuccessful. 25. The film patents wars of the early 20th century helped facilitate the spread of film companies to other parts of the U.S., outside New York. Many filmmakers worked with equipment for which they did not own the rights to use. Therefore, filming in New York could be dangerous as it was close to Edison's company headquarters, and close to the agents who the company set out to seize cameras. An alternative was Los Angeles, which had mild winters, a large selection of places to film, and, most importantly, it was only 90 miles to the border of Mexico, in case they needed to run if Edison's enforcement agents found them. By 1912, most major film companies had set up production facilities in Southern California near or in Los Angeles because of the region's favorable year-round weather. 26. Rise of Hollywood, edit. History of Hollywood redirects here. For the history of the Los Angeles neighborhood, see Hollywood, Los Angeles history. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. Laurel and Hardy with Loop. Velez in Hollywood Party, 1934. The 1908 Selike Polyscope Company production of The Count of Monte Cristo directed by Francis Boggs and starring Hobart Bosworth was claimed as the first to have been filmed in Los Angeles, in 1907, with a plaque being unveiled by the city in 1957 at Dearden's flagship store on the corner of Main Street and 7th Street, to mark the filming on the site when it had been a Chinese laundry. 27. Bosworth's widow suggested the city had got the date and location wrong, and that the film was actually shot in nearby Venice, which at the time was an independent city. 28. Boggs in The Sultan's Power for Selike Polyscope, also starring Bosworth, is considered the first film shot entirely in Los Angeles, with shooting at 7th and Olive Streets in 1909. 29, 28. In early 1910, Director D.W. Griffith was sent by the Biograph Company to the West Coast with his acting troupe, consisting of actors Blanche Sweet, Lillian Gish, Mary Pickford, Lionel Barrymore and others. They started filming on a vacant lot near Georgia Street in downtown Los Angeles. While there, the company decided to explore new territories, traveling several miles north to Hollywood, a little village that was friendly and enjoyed the movie company filming there. Griffith then filmed the first movie ever shot in Hollywood, In Old California, a biograph melodrama about California in the 19th century, when it belonged to Mexico. Griffith stayed there for months and made several films before returning to New York. Also in 1910, Silike Polyscope of Chicago established the first film studio in the Los Angeles area in Edendale, 27, and the first studio in Hollywood opened in 1912, 447 after hearing about Griffith's success in Hollywood. In 1913, many movie makers headed west to avoid the fees imposed by Thomas Edison, who owned patents on the movie making process. 31. Nestor Studios of Bayonne, New Jersey, built the first studio in the Hollywood neighborhood in 1911. Dubious discuss, Nestor Studios, owned by David and William Horsley, later merged with Universal Studios, and William Horsley's other company, Hollywood Film Laboratory, is now the oldest existing company in Hollywood, now called the Hollywood Digital Laboratory. California's more hospitable and cost-effective climate led to the eventual shift of virtually all filmmaking to the West Coast by the 1930s. At the time, Thomas Edison owned almost all the patents relevant to motion picture production, and movie producers on the East Coast acting independently of Edison's motion picture patents company were often sued or enjoined by Edison and his agents, while movie makers working on the West Coast could work independently of Edison's control. 32. In Los Angeles, the studios and Hollywood grew. Before World War I, films were made in several American cities, but filmmakers tended to gravitate towards Southern California as the industry developed. They were attracted by the warm climate and reliable sunlight, which made it possible to film their films outdoors year-round, and by the varied scenery that was available. Citation needed. War damage contributed to the decline of the then dominant European film industry, in favor of the Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. The Hollywood Walk of Fame. On Hollywood Boulevard, United States, where infrastructure was still intact. 33. The stronger early public health response to the 1918 flu epidemic by Los Angeles. 34. Compared to other American cities reduced the number of cases there and resulted in a faster recovery, contributing to the increasing dominance of Hollywood over New York City. 33. During the pandemic, public health officials temporarily closed movie theaters in some jurisdictions. Large studios suspended production for weeks at a time, and some actors came down with the flu. This caused major financial losses and severe difficulties for small studios, but the industry as a whole more than recovered during the Roaring Twenties. 35. In the early 20th century, when the medium was new, many Jewish immigrants found employment in the U.S. film industry. They were able to make their mark in a brand new business, the exhibition of short films in story-front theaters called Nickelodeons, after their admission price of a nickel, 5 cents. Within a few years, ambitious men like Samuel Goldwyn, William Fox, Kyle Liemel, Adolph Zukor, Louis B. Mayer, and the Warner Brothers, Harry, Albert, Samuel, and Jack, had switched to the production side of the business. Soon they were the heads of a new kind of enterprise, the movie studio. The US had at least 2 female directors, producers and studio heads. In these early years, Lois Weber and French-born Alice Guy Blatch. They also set the stage for the industry's internationalism. The industry is often accused of Amero-centric provincialism. Other movie makers arrived from Europe after World War I, directors like Ernst Lubitsch, Alfred Hitchcock, Fritz Lang and Jean Renoir, and actors like Rudolph Valentino, Marlene Dietrich, Ronald Colman, and Charles Boyer. They joined a homegrown supply of actors, allured west from the New York City stage after the introduction of sound films, to form one of the 20th century's most remarkable growth industries. At motion pictures' height of popularity in the mid-1940s, the studios were cranking out a total of about 400 movies a year, seen by an audience of 90 million Americans per week. 36. Sound also became widely used in Hollywood in the late 1920s. 37. After The Jazz Singer, the first film with synchronized voices was successfully released as a Vitaphone talkie in 1927, Hollywood film companies would respond to Warner Brothers and begin to use Vitaphone sound, which Warner Brothers owned until 1928, in future films. By May 1928, Electrical Research Product Incorporated, ERP, a subsidiary of the Western Electric Company, gained a monopoly over film sound distribution. 36. A side effect of the talkies was that many actors who had made their careers in silent films suddenly found themselves out of work. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. Buster Keaton in costume, with his signature pork pie hat, see 1939. Brown Derby, an icon that became synonymous with the golden age of Hollywood, as they often had bad voices or could not remember their lines. Meanwhile, in 1922, U.S. politician Will H. Hayes left politics and formed the movie studio boss organization known as the Motion Picture Producers and Distributors of America, MPDA. 38. The organization became the Motion Picture Association of America after Hayes retired in 1945. In the early times of talkies, American studios found that their sound productions were rejected in foreign language markets and even among speakers of other dialects of English. The synchronization technology was still too primitive for dubbing. One of the solutions was creating parallel foreign language versions of Hollywood films. Around 1930, the American companies, which opened a studio in Joinville-le-Pont, France, where the same sets and wardrobe and even mass scenes were used for different time-sharing crews. Also, foreign unemployed actors, playwrights, and winners of photogenic contests were chosen and brought to Hollywood, where they shot parallel versions of the English-language films. These parallel versions had a lower budget, were shot at night and were directed by second-line American directors who did not speak the foreign language. The Spanish-language crews included people like Louis Buñuel, Enrique Jardiel Ponce, Xavier Cugat, and Edgar Neville. The productions were not very successful in their intended markets, due to the following reasons. The lower budgets were apparent. Many theatre actors had no previous experience in cinema. The original movies were often second-rate themselves, since studios expected that the top productions would sell by themselves. The mix of foreign accents, Castilian, Mexican, and Chilean for example in the Spanish case, was odd for the audiences. Some markets lacked sound-equipped theaters. Classical Hollywood Cinema and the Golden Age of Hollywood, edit. Main article, Classical Hollywood Cinema. Classical Hollywood Cinema, or the Golden Age of Hollywood, is defined as a technical and narrative style characteristic of American cinema from 1913 to 1962, during which thousands of movies were issued from the Hollywood studios. The classical style began to emerge in 1913, was accelerated in 1917 after the US entered World War I, and finally solidified when the film The Jazz Singer was released in 1927, ending the silent film era and increasing box office profits for the film industry by introducing sound to feature films. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. Stars of the classical Hollywood cinema era, c. 1913-1962. Top row, L.R., Greta Garbo, Humphrey Bogart, Lauren Bacall, Clark Gable. Katharine Hepburn, Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers, Marlon Brando, The Marx Brothers, Joan Crawford. Second row, L.R., John Wayne, James Stewart, Buster Keaton, Claudette Colbert, Gene Kelly, Burt Lancaster. Judy Garland, Gregory Peck, Elizabeth Taylor, Kirk Douglas. Third row, L.R., Bette Davis, Audrey Hepburn, Jean Harlow, Alfred Hitchcock, John Ford, Howard Hawks, Grace Kelly, Laurence Olivier, Marlene Dietrich. James Cagney. Fourth row, L.R., Ava Gardner, Cary Grant, Ingrid Bergman, Henry Fonda, Marilyn Monroe, James Dean, Orson Welles. Mae West, William Holden, Sophia Loren. Bottom row, L.R., Vivian Leigh. Joan Fontaine and Gary Cooper, Spencer Tracy, Barbara Stanwyck. Lillian Gish, Tyrone Power, Shirley Temple, Janet Leigh with Charlton Heston, Rita Hayworth, Mary Pickford. Most Hollywood pictures adhered closely to a formula. Western, slapstick comedy. Musical, animated cartoon. Biographical and the same. Creative teams often worked on films made by the same studio. For example, Cedric Gibbons and Herbert Stoddart always worked on MGM films. Alfred Newman worked at 20th Century Fox for 20 years. Cecil B. DeMille's films were almost all made at Paramount, and director Henry King's films were mostly made for 20th Century Fox. At the same time, one could usually guess which studio made which film, largely because of the actors who appeared in it. MGM, for example, claimed it had contracted more stars than there are in heaven. Each studio had its own style and characteristic touches which made it possible to know this, a trait that rarely exists today. For example, To Have and Have Not, 1944, is notable not only for the first pairing of actors, Humphrey Bogart, 1899–1957, and Lauren Bacall, 1924–2014, but because it was written by two future winners of the Nobel Prize in Literature, Ernest Hemingway, 1899–1961, the author of the novel on which the script was nominally based, and William Faulkner, 1897–1962, who worked on the screen adaptation. After The Jazz Singer was released in 1927, Warner Brothers gained huge success and were able to acquire their own string of movie theaters after purchasing Stanley Theaters and First National Productions in 1928. In contrast, Loew's Theaters owned MGM since forming in 1924, while the Fox Film Corporation owned the Fox Theater. RKO, a 1928 merger between Keith Orpheum Theaters and the Radio Corporation of America, 39, also responded to the Western Electric /ERP monopoly. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. Hollywood Movie Studios in 1922. Spencer Tracy, who was the first actor to win Best Actor award over 2 consecutive years for his roles in Captains Courageous, 1937, and Boys Town, 1938, and received 7 other nominations over sound in films, and developed their own method, known as photophone, to put sound in films. 36. Paramount, which acquired Balaban and Katz in 1926, would answer to the success of Warner Brothers and RKO, and buy a number of theaters in the late 1920s as well, and would hold a monopoly on theaters in Detroit, Michigan. 40. By the 1930s, almost all of the first-run Metropolitan theaters in the United States were owned by the Big Five studios, MGM, Paramount Pictures, RKO, Warner Brothers, and 20th Century Fox. 41. Rise and decline of the studio system, edit. Motion picture companies operated under the studio system. The major studios kept thousands of people on salary: actors, producers, directors, writers, stuntmen, craftspersons, and technicians. They owned or leased movie ranches in rural Southern California for location shooting of westerns and other large-scale genre films, and the major studios owned hundreds of theaters in cities and towns across the nation in 1920 film. Theaters that showed their films and that were always in need of fresh material. In 1930, MPTA President Will Hayes created the Hayes Production Code, which followed censorship guidelines and went into effect after government threats of censorship expanded by 1930. 42, however, the code was never enforced until 1934, after the Catholic watchdog organization the Legion of Decency, appalled by some of the provocative films and lurid advertising of the era later classified pre-code Hollywood, threatened a boycott of motion pictures if it did not go into effect. 43. The films that did not obtain a seal of approval from the Production Code Administration had to pay a $25,000 fine, equivalent to $455,976 in 2023, and could not profit in the theaters, as the MPTA controlled every theater in the country through the Big Five studios. Throughout the 1930s, as well as most of the Golden Age, MGM dominated the film screen and had the top stars in Hollywood. and they were also credited for creating the Hollywood star system altogether. 44. Some MGM stars included King of Hollywood Clark Gable, Lionel Barrymore, Jean Harlow, Norma. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. Percentage of the U.S. population that went to the cinema. On average, weekly between 1930 and 2000. Shira, Greta Garbo, Joan Crawford, Jeanette MacDonald, Jean Raymond, Spencer Tracy, Judy Garland, and Gene Kelly. 44. But MGM did not stand alone. Clarification needed. Another great achievement of American cinema during this era came through Walt Disney's animation company. In 1937, Disney created the most successful film of its time, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. 45. This distinction was promptly topped in 1939 when Scenic International created what is still, when adjusted for inflation, the most successful film of all time in Gone with the Wind. 46. Many film historians have remarked upon the many great works of cinema that emerged from this period of highly regimented filmmaking. One reason this was possible is that, with so many movies being made, not everyone had to be a big hit. A studio could gamble on a medium-budget feature with a good script and relatively unknown actors. Citizen Kane, directed by Orson Welles, 1915. 1985, and often regarded as the greatest film of all time, fits this description. In other cases, strong-willed directors like Howard Hawks, 1896-1977, Alfred Hitchcock, 1899-1980, and Frank Capra, 1897-1991, battled the studios in order to achieve their artistic visions. The apogee of the studio system may have been the year 1939, which saw the release of such classics as The Wizard of Oz, Gone with the Wind, Stagecoach, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, Wuthering Heights, Only Angels Have Wings, Ninotchka and Midnight. Among the other films from the Golden Age period that are now considered to be classics, Casablanca, It's a Wonderful Life, It Happened One Night, the original King Kong, Mutiny on the Bounty, Top Hat, City Lights, Red River, The Lady from Shanghai, Rear Window, On the Waterfront, Rebel Without a Cause, Some Like It Hot, and The Matrion Candidate. The studio system and the golden age of Hollywood succumbed to two forces that developed in the late 1940s. A federal antitrust action that separated the production of films from their exhibition, and the advent of television. In 1938, Walt Disney's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was released during a run of lackluster films from the major studios, and quickly became the highest-grossing film released to that point. Embarrassingly for the studios, it was an independently produced animated film that did not feature any studio-employed stars. 47. This stoked already widespread frustration at the practice of block booking, in which studios would only sell an entire year's schedule of films at a time to theaters and use the lock-in to cover for releases of mediocre quality. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. Walt Disney introduces each of the Seven Dwarfs in a scene from the original 1937 Snow White movie trailer. Humphrey Bogart with Ingrid Bergman in Casablanca, 1942. Assistant Attorney General Thurman Arnold, a noted trust buster of the Roosevelt administration, took this opportunity to initiate proceedings against the 8 largest Hollywood studios in July 1938 for violations of the Sherman Antitrust Act 48-49. The federal suit resulted in 5 of the 8 studios, the Big 5, Warner Brothers, MGM, Fox, RKO and Paramount, reaching a compromise with Arnold in October 1940 and signing a consent decree agreeing to, within 3 years, eliminate the block booking of short film subjects, in an arrangement known as one-shot, or full-force block booking. Eliminate the block booking of any more than 5 features in their theaters. No longer engage in blind buying, or the buying of films by theater districts without seeing films beforehand, and instead have trade showing, in which all 31 theater districts in the U.S. would see films every 2 weeks before showing movies in theaters. Set up an administration board in each theater district to enforce these requirements. 48. The Little Three, Universal Studios, United Artists, and Columbia Pictures, who did not own any theaters, refused to participate in the consent decree. 48-49. A number of independent film producers were also unhappy with the compromise and formed a union known as the Society of Independent Motion Picture Producers and sued Paramount for the monopoly they still had over the Detroit theaters, as Paramount was also gaining dominance through actors like Bob Hope, Paulette Goddard, Veronica Lake, Betty Hutton, crooner Bing Crosby, Alan Ladd, and longtime actor for studio Gary Cooper too. By 1942, the Big 5 studios did not meet the requirements of the consent of decree during World War II, without major consequence, but after the war ended they joined Paramount as defendants in the Hollywood antitrust case, as did the Little Three studios. 50. The United States Supreme Court eventually ruled in United States v. Paramount Pictures, Inc. that the major studio's ownership of theaters and film distribution was a violation of the Sherman Antitrust Act. As a result, the studios began to release actors and technical staff from their contracts with the studios. This changed the paradigm of filmmaking by the major Hollywood studios, as each could have an entirely different cast and creative team. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. Director and producer Steven Spielberg, co-founder of DreamWorks Studios and Amblin Entertainment, Inc. The decision resulted in the gradual loss of the characteristics which made Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, Paramount Pictures, Universal Studios, Columbia Pictures, RKO Pictures, and 20th Century Fox films immediately identifiable. Certain movie people, such as Cecil B. DeMille, either remained contract artists until the end of their careers or used the same creative teams on their films so that a DeMille film still looked like one whether it was made in 1932 or 1956. New Hollywood and Post-Classical Cinema, edit. Main article, New Hollywood. Post-classical cinema is the changing methods of storytelling in the New Hollywood. It has been argued that new approaches to drama and characterization played upon audience expectations acquired in the classical period. Chronology may be scrambled. Storylines may feature twist endings, and lines between the antagonist and protagonist may be blurred. The roots of post-classical storytelling may be seen in film noir, in Rebel Without a Cause, 1955, and in Hitchcock's storyline Shattering Psycho. The New Hollywood is the emergence of a new generation of film school-trained directors who had absorbed the techniques developed in Europe in the 1960s as a result of the French New Wave. The 1967 film Bonnie and Clyde marked the beginning of American cinema rebounding, as well as a new generation of films would afterwards gain success at the box offices as well. 51. Filmmakers like Francis Ford Coppola, Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, Brian De Palma, Stanley Kubrick, Martin Scorsese, Roman Polanski, and William Friedkin came to produce fare that paid homage to the history of film and developed upon existing genres and techniques. Inaugurated by the 1969 release of Andy Warhol's Blue Movie, the phenomenon of adult erotic films being publicly discussed by celebrities like Johnny Carson and Bob Hope, 52, and taken seriously by critics like Roger Ebert, 53, 54, a development referred to by Ralph Blumenthal of the New York Times as porno chic, and later known as the Golden Age of Porn, began, for the first time, in modern American culture. 52, 55, 56, according to award-winning author Tony Bentley, Radley Metzger's 1976 film The Opening of Misty Beethoven, based on the play Pygmalion by George Bernard Shaw, and its derivative, My Fair Lady, and due to attaining a mainstream level in storyline and sets, 57, is considered the crown jewel of this golden age. 58, 59. At the height of his fame in the early 1970s, Charles Bronson was the world's #1 box office attraction, commanding $1 million per film. 60. In the 1970s, the films of New Hollywood filmmakers were often both critically acclaimed and commercially successful. While the early New Hollywood explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. Tom Hanks, who has won 2 Academy Awards for Best Actor for his performances in Philadelphia and Forrest Gump, and has starred in numerous beloved films such as Saving Private Ryan, Cast Away and Toy Story. Films like Bonnie and Clyde and Easy Rider had been relatively low-budget affairs with immoral heroes and increased sexuality and violence. The enormous success enjoyed by Friedkin with The Exorcist, Spielberg with Jaws, Coppola with The Godfather and Apocalypse Now, Scorsese with Taxi Driver, Kubrick with 2001, A Space Odyssey, Polanski with Chinatown, and Lucas with American Graffiti and Star Wars, respectively helped to give rise to the modern blockbuster, and induced studios to focus ever more heavily on trying to produce enormous hits. 61. The increasing indulgence of these young directors did not help. Citation needed, often, they would go over schedule, and over budget, thus bankrupting themselves or the studio. Citation needed, the 3 most notable examples of this are Coppola's Apocalypse Now and One from the Heart and particularly Michael Cimino's Heaven's Gate, which single-handedly bankrupted United Artists. However, Apocalypse Now eventually made its money back and gained widespread recognition as a masterpiece, winning the Palme d'Or at Cannes. 62. Rise of the modern blockbuster and independent films, edit. This section is missing information about film as an artistic medium beyond being a form of technology or an entertainment product, cinematic styles such as, for instance, neo-noir and American eccentric cinema, Pixar, and the entire 1980s. Please expand the section to include this information. Further details may exist on the talk page. August 2023. In the US, the PG-13 rating was introduced in 1984 to accommodate films that straddled the line between PG and R, which was mainly due to the controversies surrounding the violent content of the PG films Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom and Gremlins, both 1984. 63. Filmmakers in the 1990s had access to technological, political, and economic innovations that had not been available in previous decades. Dick Tracy, 1990, became the first 35mm feature film with a digital soundtrack. Batman Returns, 1992, was the first film to make use of the Dolby Digital 6-channel stereo sound that has since become the industry standard. Computer-generated imagery was greatly facilitated when it became possible to transfer film images into a computer and manipulate them digitally. The possibilities became apparent in director James Cameron's Terminator 2. Judgment Day, 1991, in images of the shape-changing character T-1000. Computer graphics or CG advanced to a point where Jurassic Park, 1993, was able to use the techniques to create. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. American film industry, 1995. 2017. All values in billions. Year tickets revenue. 1995 $1.225.31. 1996 $1.315.79. 1997 $1.396.36. 1998 $1.446.77. 1999 $1.447.34. 2000 $1.407.54. 2001 $1.488.36. 2002 $1.589.16. 2003 $1.529.20. 2004 $1.509.29. 2005 $1.378.80. 2006 $1.409.16. 2007 $1.429.77. 2008 $1.369.75. 2009 $1.4210.64. 2010 $1.3310.48. 2011 $1.2810.17. 2012 $1.4011.16. 2013 $1.3410.89. 2014 $1.2610.27. 2015 $1.3211.16. Realistic Looking Animals. Jackpot, 2001, became the first film that was shot entirely in digital. 64. In the film Titanic, Cameron wanted to push the boundary of special effects with his film, and enlisted Digital Domain and Pacific Data Images to continue the developments in digital technology which the director pioneered while working on The Abyss and Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Many previous films about the RMS Titanic shot water in slow motion, which did not look wholly convincing. 65. Cameron encouraged his crew to shoot their 45-foot-long, 14 miniature of the ship as if we're making a commercial for the White Star Line. Even the Blair Witch Project, 1999, a low-budget indie horror film by Eduardo Sanchez and Daniel Myrick, was a huge financial success. Filmed on a budget of just $35,000, without any big stars or special effects, the film grossed $248 million. With the use of modern marketing techniques and online promotion, though not on the scale of George Lucas's $1 billion prequel to the Star Wars trilogy, the Blair Witch Project earned the distinction of being the most profitable film of all time, in terms of percentage gross. 64. The success of Blair Witch as an indie project remains among the few exceptions, however, and control of the Big Five studios over filmmaking continued to increase through the 1990s. The Big Six companies all enjoyed a period of expansion. In the 1990s, they each developed different ways to adjust to rising costs in the film industry, especially the rising salaries of movie stars, driven by powerful agents. The biggest stars like Sylvester Stallone, Russell Crowe, Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman, Sandra Bullock, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Mel Gibson, Kevin Bacon, and Julia Roberts received between $15 to $20 million per film, and in some cases were even given a share of the film's profits. 64. Screenwriters, on the other hand, were generally paid less than the top actors or directors, usually under $1 million per film. However, the single largest factor driving rising costs was special effects. By 1999, the average cost of a blockbuster film was $60 million before marketing and promotion, which cost another $80 million. 64. Contemporary cinema, edit. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. Year tickets revenue. 2016 $1.30 $11.26. 2017 $1.23 $10.99. As compiled by The Numbers. 66. The Ocean's 11 cast, left to right: Brad Pitt, George Clooney, Matt Damon, Andy Garcia, Julia Roberts, and Steven Soderbergh. 72, 73. This section is missing information about other types of films other than superhero or blockbuster. Discussion about studios other than the typical list, discussion regarding superhero fatigue, and information on the 2023 Hollywood labor disputes. Please expand the section to include this information. Further details may exist on the talk page. May 2023. Since the beginning of 21st century, the theatrical marketplace has slowly been dominated by the superhero genre. As of 2022, they are the best-paying productions for actors, because paychecks in other genres have shrunk for even top actors. 67. In 2023 and 2024, however, Hollywood experts pointed to superhero fatigue as an emerging trend. 68. Actors such as Paul Dano and directors like Matthew Vaughn have made similar arguments. 69. 70. In 2021, despite the COVID-19 pandemic in the United States, blockbuster films such as Black Widow, F9, Death on the Nile and West Side Story were released in theaters after being postponed from their initial 2020 release dates. 71. Various studios responded to the crisis with controversial decisions to forego the theatrical window and give their films day and date releases. NBC Universal released Trolls World Tour directly to video on demand rental on the 10th of April, 74, while simultaneously receiving limited domestic theatrical screenings via drive-in cinemas. 75. CEO Jeff Shell claims that the film had reached nearly $100 million in revenue within the first 3 weeks. 76. 77. The decision was opposed by AMC Theaters, which then announced that its screenings of Universal Pictures films would cease immediately, though the two companies would eventually agree to a 2-week theatrical window. 78, 79, 80, 81, 82. By December 2020, Warner Bros. Pictures announced their decision to simultaneously release its slate of 2021 films in both theaters and its streaming site HBO Max for a period of 1 month in order to maximize viewership. 83. The move was vehemently criticized by various industry figures, many of whom were reportedly uninformed of the decision before the announcement and felt deceived by the studio. 84. 2019 onwards has seen the rise of American streaming platforms, such as Netflix, Disney+, Paramount+, and Apple TV+, which came to rival traditional cinema. 85, 86. Industry commentators have noted the increasing treatment of films as content by corporations that correlate with the increased popularity of streaming platforms. 87. This involves the blurring of boundaries between Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. Tom Cruise, in a spectacular pre-recorded segment, skydived from the Stade de France to the Hollywood sign, where he landed and affixed the 5 Olympic rings, marking the handover of the Games to Los Angeles in 2028. During the Olympics closing ceremony, films, television and other forms of media as more people consume them together in a variety of ways, with individual films defined more by their brand identity and commercial potential rather than their medium, stories and artistry. 85, 88. Critic Matt Zoller Seitz has described the release of Avengers: Endgame in 2019 as representing the decisive defeat of cinema by content due to its grand success as a piece of entertainment defined by the Marvel brand that culminates a series of blockbuster films that has trays of serial television. 85. The films Space Jam, A New Legacy and Red Notice have been cited as examples of this treatment, with the former being described by many critics as a lengthy infomercial for HBO Max, featuring scenes and characters recalling various Warner Brothers properties such as Casablanca, The Matrix and Austin Powers. 89, 90, 91. 92, while the latter is a $200 million heist film. From Netflix that critics described a movie that feels more processed by a machine, instead of anything approaching artistic intent or even an honest desire to entertain. 93, 94, 95. Some have expressed that Space Jam demonstrates the industry's increasingly cynical treatment of films as mere intellectual property, IP, to be exploited, an approach which critic Scott Mendelson called IP for the sake of IP. 90, 96, 97, 91. Martin Scorsese has warned that cinema as an art form is being systematically devalued, sidelined, demeaned, and reduced to content and called blockbusters' overemphasis on box office returns repulsive. 98, 99, Quentin Tarantino opined that the 2020s were one of the worst eras in Hollywood history on a podcast interview. 100, 101, during a masterclass at the 2023 Sarajevo Film Festival, Charlie Kaufman criticized mainstream blockbusters, stating that at this point, the only thing that makes money is garbage, and encouraged industry professionals to make movies outside of the studio system as much as possible. 102, 103, James Gray noted in an interview with Deadline, when you make movies that only make a ton of money and only one kind of movie, you begin to get a large segment of the population out of the habit of going to the movies, which causes viewership to decrease, though clarified that he has no problem with a comic book movie. As a solution to the lack of investment in the broad-based engagement with the product, he suggests that studios be willing to lose money for a couple of years on art film divisions, and in the end they will be happier. 104. Hollywood and Politics, edit. Main article, Good Neighbor Policy. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. The 81st Academy Awards at the Dolby Theatre in Hollywood in 2009. Academy Museum of Motion Pictures. In the 1930s, the Democrats and the Republicans saw money in Hollywood. President Franklin Roosevelt saw a huge partnership with Hollywood. He used the first real potential of Hollywood stars in a national campaign. Melvyn Douglas toured Washington, D.C., in 1939 and met the key new dealers. Citation needed. Political endorsements, edit. See also, Hollywood Blacklist and List of Joe Biden 2020 Presidential Campaign Celebrity Endorsements. Endorsements letters from leading actors were signed, radio appearances and printed advertising were made. Movie stars were used to draw a large audience into the political view of the party. By the 1960s, John F. Kennedy was a new, young face for Washington, and his strong friendship with Frank Sinatra exemplified this new era of glamour. The last moguls of Hollywood were gone, and younger, newer executives and producers began pushing more liberal ideas. Citation needed. Celebrities and money attracted politicians into the high-class, glittering Hollywood lifestyle. As Ron Brownstein wrote in his book The Power and the Glitter, television in the 1970s and 1980s was an enormously important new media in politics, and Hollywood helped in that media with actors making speeches on their political beliefs, like Jane Fonda against the Vietnam War. 105. Despite most celebrities and producers being left-leaning and tending to support the Democratic Party. 106. 107. This era produced some Republican actors and producers such as Clint Eastwood and Jerry Bruckheimer. Support groups such as the Friends of Abe were set up to support conservative causes in Hollywood, which is perceived as biased against conservatives. 108. Former actor Ronald Reagan became governor of California and subsequently became the 40th President of the United States. It continued with Arnold Schwarzenegger as California's governor in 2003. Citation needed. Political donations, edit. Today, donations from Hollywood help to fund federal politics. 109. On the 20th of February, 2007, for example, Democratic then presidential candidate Barack Obama had a $2,300 plate Hollywood Gala, being hosted by DreamWorks founders David Geffen, Jeffrey Katzenberg, and Steven Spielberg at the Beverly Hilton. 109. Criticisms, edit. Covert advertising, edit. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. Native advertising is information designed to persuade in more subtle ways than classic propaganda. A modern example common in the United States is copaganda, in which TV shows display unrealistically flattering portrayals of law enforcement, in part to borrow equipment and get their assistance in blocking off streets to more easily film on location. 110. Other reputation laundering accusations have been leveled in the entertainment industry, including the burnishing the image of the mafia. 111. Product placement also has been a point of criticism, with the tobacco industry promoting smoking on screen. 112. The Centers for Disease Control cites that 18% of teen smokers would not start smoking if films with smoking were automatically given an R rating, which would save 1 million lives. 113. Censorship, edit. See also, overseas censorship of Chinese issues and list of TV and films critical of Chinese Communist Party. Hollywood producers generally seek to comply with the Chinese government's censorship requirements in a bid to access the country's restricted and lucrative cinema market. 114, with the second largest box office in the world as of 2016. This includes prioritizing sympathetic portrayals of Chinese characters in movies, such as changing the villains in Red Dawn from Chinese to North Koreans. 114. Due to many topics forbidden in China, such as Dalai Lama and Winnie the Pooh being involved in the South Park's episode banned in China, South Park was entirely banned in China after the episode's broadcast. 115. The 2018 film Christopher Robin, The New Winnie the Pooh movie, was denied a Chinese release. 115. Although Tibet was previously a cause célèbre in Hollywood, featuring in films including Kundan and 7 Years in Tibet, in the 21st century this is no longer the case. 116. In 2016, Marvel Entertainment attracted criticism for its decision to cast Tilda Swinton as the Ancient One in the film adaptation Doctor Strange, using a white woman to play a traditionally Tibetan character. 117. Actor and high-profile Tibet supporter Richard Gere stated that he was no longer welcome to participate in mainstream Hollywood films after criticizing the Chinese government and calling for a boycott of the 2008 Summer Olympics in Beijing. 116, 118. Historic examples, edit. Hollywood also self-censored any negative depictions of Nazis for most of the 1930s in order to maintain access to German audiences. 119. Around that time economic censorship resulted in the self-censoring of content to please the group wielding their economic influence. 119. The Hays Code was an industry-led effort from 1930–1967 to strict self-censorship in order to appease religious objections to certain content and stave off any government censorship that could have resulted. 119. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. The Chinese Theater before 2007. The El Capitan Theater. Relationship with the military, edit. Main article, Military Entertainment Complex. Sexual abuse scandals, edit. Main article, Sexual abuse in the American film industry. Global Hollywood, edit. Political economy of communication. Researchers have long focused on the international or global presence, power, profitability and popularity of Hollywood films. Books on Global Hollywood by Toby Miller and Richard Maxwell, 120, Janet Wasco and Mary Erickson, 121, Kerry Segrave, 122, John Trump, 123, and Tanner Merles, 124, examine the international political economy of Hollywood's power. According to Tanner Merles, Hollywood relies on 4 capitalist strategies to attract and integrate non-US film producers, exhibitors and audiences into its ambit: ownership, cross-border productions with subordinate service providers, content licensing deals with exhibitors, and blockbusters designed to travel the globe. 125. In 1912, American film companies were largely immersed in the competition for the domestic market. It was difficult to satisfy the huge demand for films created by the Nickelodeon boom. Motion Picture Patents Company members such as Edison Studios also sought to limit competition from French, Italian, and other imported films. Exporting films, then, became lucrative to these companies. Vitagraph Studios was the first American company to open its own distribution offices in Europe, establishing a branch in London in 1906, and a second branch in Paris shortly after. 126. Other American companies were moving into foreign markets as well, and American distribution abroad continued to expand until the mid-1920s. Originally, a majority of companies sold their films indirectly. However, since they were inexperienced in overseas trading, they simply sold the foreign rights to their films to foreign distribution firms or export agents. Gradually, London became a center for the international circulation of U.S. films. 126. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. Egyptian Theatre Main Entry. Dolby Theatre, Hollywood's renowned venue for the prestigious Academy Awards ceremony, which honors excellence in film. Many British companies made a profit by acting as the agents for this business, and by doing so, they weakened British production by turning over a large share of the UK market to American films. By 1911, approximately 60 to 70% of films imported into Great Britain were American. The United States was also doing well in Germany, Australia, and New Zealand. 126. More recently, as globalization has started to intensify, and the United States government has been actively promoting free trade agendas and trade on cultural products, Hollywood has become a worldwide cultural source. The success on Hollywood export markets can be known not only from the boom of American multinational media corporations across the globe but also from the unique ability to make big-budget films that appeal powerfully to popular tastes in many different cultures. 127. With globalization, movie production has been clustered in Hollywood for several reasons. The United States has the largest single home market in dollar terms, entertaining and highly visible Hollywood movies have global appeal, and the role of English as a universal language contributes to compensating for higher fixed costs of production. Hollywood has moved more deeply into Chinese markets, although influenced by China's censorship. Films made in China are censored, strictly avoiding themes like ghosts, violence, murder, horror, and demons. Such plot elements risk being cut. Hollywood has had to make approved films, corresponding to official Chinese standards, but with aesthetic standards sacrificed to box office profits. Even Chinese audiences found it boring to wait for the release of great American movies dubbed in their native language. 128. Role of women, edit. Main article, Women in Film. This section needs to be updated. Please help update this article to reflect recent events or newly available information. August 2023. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. Meryl Streep is cited as one of the most influential women in Hollywood, and Katharine Hepburn received 4 Academy Awards for Best Actress, a record for any performer. Women are statistically underrepresented in creative positions in the center of the U.S. film industry. Hollywood. This underrepresentation has been called the celluloid ceiling, a variant on the employment discrimination term glass ceiling. In 2013, the top-paid actors made 2 times as much money as the top-paid actresses. 129. Older male actors make more than their female equals in age, with female movie stars making the most money on average per film at age 34, while male stars earn the most at 51. 130. The 2013 Celluloid Ceiling report conducted by the Center for the Study of Women in Television and Film at San Diego State University collected a list of statistics gathered from 2,813 individuals employed by the 250 top domestic grossing films of 2012. 131. Women accounted for 18% of all directors, executive producers, writers, cinematographers, and editors. This reflected no change from 2011 and only a 1% increase from 1998. 131. 9% of all directors. 131. 15% of writers. 131. 25% of all producers. 131. 20% of all editors. 131. 2% of all cinematographers. 131. 38% of films employed 0 or 1 woman in the roles considered, 23% employed 2 women, 28% employed 3 to 5 women, and 10% employed 6 to 9 women. 131. A New York Times article stated that only 15% of the top films in 2013 had women for a lead acting role. 132. The author of the study noted that the percentage of female-speaking roles has not increased much since the 1940s, when they hovered around 25% to 28%. Since 1998, women's representation in behind-the-scenes roles other than directing has gone up just 1%. Women directed the same percent of the 250 top-grossing films in 2012, 9%, as they did in 1998. 129. Race and ethnicity, edit. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. Michael Pina was master of ceremonies at the induction of the farm worker movement into the Labor Hall of Fame and dedication of the Cesar E. Chavez Memorial Auditorium at the U.S. Department of Labor in March 2012. During the time he was cast for the film Cesar Chavez. Main articles: African American representation in Hollywood, representation of African Americans in media, portrayal of East Asians in Hollywood, portrayal of Native Americans in film, portrayal of Arabs in film, white savior narrative in film, whitewashing in film, Chicano films, racism in early American film, and racism in horror films. On the 10th of May, 2021, NBC announced that it would not televise the 79th Golden Globe Awards in 2022 in support of a boycott of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association by multiple media companies over inadequate efforts to address lack of diversity within the membership of the association with people of color, but that it would be open to televise the ceremony in 2023 if the HFPA were successful in its efforts to reform. 133. The HFPA would be disbanded 2 years later as a result of this and other scandals. 134. 135. American cinema has often reflected and propagated negative stereotypes towards foreign nationals and ethnic minorities. 136. For example, Russians and Russian Americans are usually portrayed as brutal mobsters, ruthless agents and villains. 137, 138, 139, according to Russian American professor Nina L. Krushkeva, you can't even turn the TV on and go to the movies without reference to Russians as horrible. 140. Italians and Italian Americans are usually associated with organized crime and the American Mafia. 141, 142, 143. Hispanic and Latino Americans are largely depicted as Sexualized figures such as the Latino macho or the Latina vixen, gang members, illegal immigrants, or entertainers. 144. However, representation in Hollywood has improved in recent years, gaining traction in the 1990s, and no longer emphasizes oppression, exploitation, or resistance as primary themes. According to Charles Ramirez-Berg, third-wave films do not accentuate Chicano oppression or resistance. Ethnicity in these films exists as one fact of several that shape characters' lives and stamps their personalities. 145. Filmmakers like Edward James Olmos and Robert Rodriguez were able to represent the Hispanic and Latino American experience like none had on screen before, and actors like Hilary Swank, Jordana Brewster, Jessica Alba, Camilla Bell, Al Madrigal, Alexis Bledel, Sofia Vergara, Ana de Armas, and Rachel Zegler have become successful. In the last decade, minority filmmakers like Chris Weitz, Alfonso Gomez-Rejon, and Patricia Rugen have been given a plier, spelling, narratives. Films that portray Hispanic and Latino Americans include La Bamba, 1987, Selena, 1997, The Mask of Zorro, 1998, Goal 2, 2007, Overboard, 2018, Father of the Bride, 2022, and Josefina Lopez's Real Women Have Curves, originally a play which premiered in 1990 and was later released as a film in 2002. 145. African American representation in Hollywood improved drastically towards the end of the 20th century after the fall of the studio system. Citation needed: in Old Hollywood, when racial prejudices were socially acceptable, it was not uncommon for white actors to wear blackface. 146. In the 2016 Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. Pro-Palestinian protest in Los Angeles against the war in Gaza. And Hollywood's role in dehumanizing Muslims in November 2023. Crossroads of the World. Film Moonlight, masculinity is portrayed as rigid and aggressive. Amongst the behavior of young black males in Chiron's teenage peer group. 147. The expression of hypermasculinity among black men has been associated with peer acceptance and community. 148. Being a gay man within the black community, on the other hand, has been associated with social alienation and homophobic judgment by peers because black gay men are seen as weak or effeminate. In the film, Chiron is placed in this divide as a black gay man and alters his presentation of masculinity as a strategy to avoid ridicule because homosexuality is viewed as incompatible with black masculine expectations. As young kids, Kevin hides his sexuality in order to avoid being singled out like Chiron is. As Chiron grows older, he recognizes the need to conform to a heteronormative ideal of black masculinity in order to avoid abuse and homophobia. As an adult, Chiron chooses to embrace the stereotypical black male gender performance by becoming muscular and a drug dealer. 147. According to Korean-American actor Daniel Dae Kim, Asian and Asian American men have been portrayed as inscrutable villains and asexualized kind of eunuchs. 143. The media action Network for Asian Americans accused the director and studio of Aloha of whitewashing the cast of the film, and the director, Cameron Crowe, apologized about Emma Stone being miscast as a character who is meant to be of 1/4 Chinese and 1/4 Hawaiian descent. 149, 150, 151. Throughout the 20th century, acting roles in film were relatively few, and many available roles were narrow characters. In the 21st century, young Asian American comedians and filmmakers have found an outlet on YouTube allowing them to gain a strong and loyal fan base among their fellow Asian Americans. 152, although more recently, the film Crazy Rich Asians has been lauded in the United States for featuring a predominantly Asian cast. 153, it was criticized elsewhere for casting biracial and non-Chinese actors as ethnically Chinese characters. The film Always Be My Maybe was lauded for taking familiar rom-com beats and cleverly layering in smart social commentary. 154. Before the 11th of September attacks, Arabs and Arab Americans were often portrayed as terrorists. 143. The decision to hire Naomi Scott, in the film Aladdin, the daughter of an English father and a Gujarati Ugandan Indian mother, to play the lead of Jasmine, also drew criticism, as well as accusations of colorism, as some commentators expected the role to go to an actress of Arab or Middle Eastern origin. 155. In January 2018, it was reported that white extras were being applied brown makeup during filming in order to blend in, which caused an outcry and condemnation. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. The New Beverly Cinema, known for showcasing a diverse range of movies from various genres and eras. The theater retained its vintage charm, featuring 35mm film projections and maintaining an old-school movie-going experience among fans and critics, branding the practice as an insult to the whole industry while accusing the producers of not recruiting people with Middle Eastern or North African heritage. Disney responded to the controversy saying, "Diversity of our cast and background performers was a requirement and only in a handful of instances when it was a matter of specialty skills, safety and control, special effects rigs, stunt performers and handling of animals, were crew made up to blend in." 156, 157. Working conditions, edit. See also, list of Hollywood strikes. Hollywood's workflow is unique in that much of its workforce does not report to the same factory each day, nor follow the same routine from day to day, but films at distant locations around the world, with a schedule dictated by the scenes being filmed rather than what makes the most sense for productivity. For instance, an urban film shot entirely on location at night would require the bulk of its crews to work a graveyard shift, while a situational comedy series that shoots primarily on stage, with only 1 or 2 days a week on location, would follow a more traditional work schedule. Westerns are often shot in desert locations far from the homes of the crew in areas with limited hotels that necessitate long drives before and after a shooting day, which take advantage of as many hours of sunlight available, ultimately requiring workers to put in 16 or 17 hours a day from the time they leave their home to the time they return. 158, 159. While the role of labor in America has waned in many parts of the country, the unions have maintained a firm grip in Hollywood. Since their start during Great Depression, when workers would line up outside the thriving movie studios looking for the only job in town, terrible conditions awaited those workers as the studios exploited the eager workforce with meager pay and the ever-present threat of the hundreds of others waiting just outside the gates to take their place if they voiced any complaints. 160. Due to the casual nature of employment in Hollywood, it is only through collective bargaining can individual workers express their rights to minimum wage guarantees and access to pension and health plans that carry over from film to film or TV series to TV series, and offer the studios access to a trained workforce able to step onto a set on day one with the knowledge and experience to handle the highly technical equipment they are asked to operate. 161. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. The majority of the workers in Hollywood are represented by several unions and guilds. The 150,000-member-strong International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees, EATS, represents most of the crafts, such as the grips, electricians, and camera people, as well as editors, sound engineers, and hair and makeup artists. The Screen Actors Guild, SAG, is the next largest group, representing some 130,000 actors and performers. The Directors Guild of America, DGA, represents the directors and production managers. The Writers Guild of America, WGA, representing writers, and the International Brotherhood of Teamsters, IBT, represents the drivers. 162, 163. The unions and guilds serve as the collective bargaining unit for their membership, negotiating on regular intervals, most currently on 3-year contracts, with the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, AMPTP, a trade alliance representing the film studios and television networks that hire the crews to create their content. While the relationship between labor and management has generally been amicable over the years, working together with the state to develop safe protocols to continue working during COVID-19 and lobbying together in favor of tax incentives, contract negotiations have been known to get contentious over changes in the industry and as a response to rising income inequality. The relationship even turned bloody in 1945 as a 6-month strike by set decorators turned into a bloody melee on a sweltering October day between strikers, scabs, strikebreakers, and studio security. 164, 165, 166, 167. See also, edit. African American cinema. Category documentary films about Hollywood, Los Angeles. Category documentary films about the cinema of the United States. Category films about Hollywood, Los Angeles. Lists of American films. American comedy films. American Film Institute. History of animation in the United States. List of films in the public domain in the United States. Motion Picture Association of America Film Rating System. National Film Registry. General list of cinema of the world. Photography in the United States of America. Cinema of North America. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. References, edit. 1 AB Table 8, Cinema Infrastructure, Capacity. USCO Institute for Statistics. Archived from the original on the 24th of December, 2018. Retrieved 5 November, 2013. 2 Table 1, Feature Film Production, Genre/Method of Shooting. USCO Institute for Statistics. Archived from the original on the 24th of December, 2018. Retrieved 30th May, 2019. 3 Cinema, Admissions per capita. Screen Australia. Archived from the original on November 9th. 2013. Retrieved 9th November, 2013. 4 AB Table 11, Exhibition, Admissions and Gross Box Office, GBO. USCO Institute for Statistics. Archived from the original on the 24th of December, 2018. Retrieved 30th May, 2019. 5 The Lumiere Brothers, Pioneers of Cinema. History Channel. Retrieved 15th January, 2017. 6 UIS. UIS Statistics. Data.uis.usco.org. 7 Hudson, Dale. Vampires, Race, and Transnational Hollywoods. Edinburgh University Press, 2017. Website archived 22nd December, 2019, at the Wayback Machine. 8 Kerrigan, Finola, 2010. Film Marketing. Oxford, Butterworth Heinemann. P18. ISBN 9780750686839. Retrieved 4 February, 2022. 9 Davis, Glyn, Dickinson, K, Patty, Lisa, Villarejo, Amy, 2015. Film Studies, A Global Introduction. Abingdon, Routledge. p. 299. ISBN 9781317623380. Retrieved 24 August, 2020. 10 Rosenstone, Robert O. 1985. Scotts, Thomas, Eisenberg, Michael T. Rothman, Peter, Purdy, Jim. Cavell, Stanley, Alexander, William, eds. Genres, History, and Hollywood. A review article. Comparative Studies in Society and History. 27, 2367375. ISSN 0010-4175. 11 Billboard. Nielsen Business Media. 29 April, 1944. p. 68. ISSN 0006-2510. 12 Why Contemporary Commentators Missed the Point with the Jazz Singer. Time. 13 Village Voice, 100 Best Films of the 20th Century, 2001, archived 31 March, 2014, at the Wayback Machine. Filmsite.org, Sight and Sound Top 10 Poll 2002. BFI. Archived from the original on 15 May, 2012. Retrieved 19 June, 2007. 14 Canapel, Andrea, 4 October, 1998. Getting the Big Picture, the film industry started here and left. Now it's back, and the state says the sequel is huge. The New York Times. Archived from The original on the 19th of December, 2019. Retrieved the 19th of January, 2023. 15-carat market data. The numbers. Retrieved the 11th of July, 2024. 16-carat a myth, Dennis, the 1st of January, 2011. Before Hollywood there was Fort Lee, NJ, early movie making in New Jersey, AJ, Ent DVD review. J. Ent. Archived from the original on the 22nd of December, 2019. Retrieved the 19th of January, 2023. When Hollywood, California, was mostly orange groves, Fort Lee, New Jersey, was a center of American film production. 17-carat rose, Lisa, the 29th of April, 2012. 100 years ago, Fort Lee was the first town to bask in movie magic. NJ.com. Archived from the original on the 29th of September, 2018. Retrieved the 19th of January, 2023. Back in 1912, when Hollywood had more cattle than cameras, Fort Lee was the center of the cinematic universe. Icons from the silent era like Mary Pickford, Lionel Barrymore and Lillian Gish crossed the Hudson River via ferry to emote on Fort Lee backlots. 18-carat before Hollywood, there was Fort Lee archived the 12th of July, 2009, at the Wayback Machine, Fort Lee Film Commission. Accessed the 16th of April, 2011. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. 19-carat Kosarski, Richard. Fort Lee, The Film Town, Indiana University Press, 2004. ISBN 978-0-86196. 652-3. Accessed the 27th of May, 2015. 20-carat Studios and Films archived the 6th of October, 2014, at the Wayback Machine, Fort Lee Film Commission. Accessed the 7th of December, 2013. 21-carat Fort Lee Film Commission, 2006, Fort Lee birthplace of the motion picture industry, Arcadia. Publishing, ISBN 0-7385-4501-5. 22-carat Liebenson, Donald, the 19th of February, 2015. Flickering Empire details Chicago's early dominance of film industry. Chicago Tribune. Retrieved the 8th of February, 2021. 23-carat Cleveland on film. The Encyclopedia of Cleveland History. Case Western Reserve University. Retrieved the 8th of February, 2021. 24-carat. https://app.crb.gov/document/download/22398. http://archive.org/download/picturestree-esma03lond/picturestree-esma03lond.pdf. https://wikimedia.org/wikipedia/7//7e//03-02-0-2-003-vol_vol_2/5_%sign 28i_sim_billboard_19120202003_24_5%29.pdf https://filmine-florida.com/wp-content/uploads/2014//film-and-entertainment. Industry.pdf 25 Abel, Richard, 2020. Motor City Movie Culture, 1916–1925. Bloomington, in, Indiana University Press. pp. 136139. ISBN 978-0253046468. 26 Jacobs, Louis, Rise of the American Film, The Harcourt Brace, New York, 1930, p. 85. 27 A. B. Rasmussen, Cecilia, 16 September 2001. Movie Industry's Roots in Garden of Edendale. Los Angeles Times. Retrieved 15 October 2021. 28 A. B. Wrong site, wrong year, but plaque unveiled on first pick made in H. Wood. Variety. January 1, 1958 p1. Retrieved 15 October 2021 via archive.org. 29 In the Sultan's Power at the AFI Catalogue of Feature Films. 30 Worcester, Donald, 2008. A Passion for Nature, The Life of John Muir. Oxford, Oxford University Press. OUP. p. 535. ISBN 978-0-19-516682-8. OCLC 1910902885. 31 Pedersen, Charles E. September 2007. Thomas Edison. Abdo Publishing Company. p. 77. ISBN 978-1-59928-845-1. 32 Bishop, Jim. How Movies Got Moving. The Lewiston Journal, 27 November 1979. Accessed. 14 February 2012. Movies were unheard of in Hollywood. Even in 1900 the flickering shadows were devised in a place called Fort Lee, NJ. It had forests, rocks, cliffs for the cliffhangers and the Hudson River. The movie industry had two problems. The weather was unpredictable, and Thomas Edison sued producers who used his invention. It was not until 1911 that David Horsley moved his Nestor company west. 33 AB How the Spanish Flu Contributed to the Rise of Hollywood. 19 November 2020. 34 How one city avoided the 1918 flu pandemic's deadly second wave. 35 Mires, Hadley, 1 April 2020. Closed movie theaters and infected stars, how the 1918 flu halted Hollywood. The Hollywood Reporter. 36 ABC History of the Motion Picture. Encyclopedia Britannica. Retrieved 14 June 2013. 37 1. Archived 29 April 2007, at the Wayback Machine. 38 Will Haze and Motion Picture Censorship. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. 39 Thumbnail History of RKO Radio Pictures. Earthlink.net. Archived from the original on 12 September 2005. Retrieved 19 June 2007. 40 carat The Paramount Theatre Monopoly. Cobbles.com. Retrieved 14 June, 2013. 41 carat Film History of the 1920s. Filmsite.org. Retrieved 14 June, 2013. 42 carat Father of the Constitution is born. This day in history, 3/16/1751. History.com. Archived from the original on 12 February 2010. Retrieved 14 June 2013. 43 carat Maltby, Richard, 19 May 2008. More sinned against than sinning, the fabrications of pre-code. Cinema. Sensesofcinema.com. Retrieved 14 June 2013. 44 carat AB, 2, archived 21 June 2007, at the Wayback Machine. 45 carat Disney Insider. Go.com. Retrieved 14 June 2013. 46 carat, 3, archived 14 May 2007, at the Wayback Machine. 47 carat Aberdeen, JA, 6 September 2005. Part 1, The Hollywood Slump of 1938. Hollywood. Renegades Archive. Retrieved 6 May 2008. 48 carat ABC Consent Decree. Time: the 11th of November 1940. Archived from the original on January 5, 2013. Retrieved 6 May 2008. 49 carat AB Aberdeen, JA, 6 September 2005. Part 3, The Consent Decree of 1940. Hollywood. Renegades Archive. Retrieved 6 May 2008. 50 carat The Hollywood Studios in Federal Court, The Paramount Case. Cobbles.com. Retrieved 14 June 2013. 51 carat Scott, O. 12 August 2007. 2 outlaws, blasting holes in the screen. The New York Times. 52 carat AB Corliss, Richard, 29 March 2005. That Old Feeling, When Porno Was Chic. Time: retrieved 27 January 2016. 53 carat Ebert, Roger, 13 June 1973. The Devil in Miss Jones Film Review. RogerEbert.com. Retrieved 7 February 2015. 54 carat Ebert, Roger, 24 November 1976. Alice in Wonderland, an X-rated musical fantasy. RogerEbert.com. Retrieved 26 February 2016. 55 carat Blumenthal, Ralph, 21 January 1973. Porno chic, hardcore grows fashionable and very profitable. The New York Times Magazine. Retrieved 20 January 2016. 56 carat Porno chic. www.jarznik.com. 57 carat Mathijs, Ernest, Mendick, Xavier, 2007. The Cult Film Reader. Open University Press. ISBN 978-0335219230, page needed. 58 carat Bentley, Tony, June, 2014. The Legend of Henry Paris. Playboy. Archived from the original on the 4th of February, 2016. Retrieved the 26th of January, 2016. 59 Carat Bentley, Tony, June, 2014. The Legend of Henry Paris, PDF. tonabentley.com. Archived, PDF. From the original on the 1st of February, 2016. Retrieved the 26th of January, 2016. 60 Carat Lardine, Bob, the 18th of March, 1973. Big Bad Brinson. The Miami Herald. New York News Service. pp. 1h. Retrieved the 10th of February, 2020 via newspapers.com. 61 Carat Belton, John, the 10th of November, 2008. American Cinema / American Culture. McGraw-Hill. p. 384. ISBN 978-0-07-338615-7. 62 Carat Modern Times. Sight and Sound. British Film Institute. December, 2002. Archived from the original. On the 7th of March, 2012. Retrieved the 16th of October, 2010. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. 63 Carat Bresnikan, Anthony, the 24th of August, 2004. PG-13 Remade Hollywood Ratings System. Seattle Post. Intelligencer. Retrieved the 27th of June, 2016. 64 Carat ABCD How George Lucas pioneered the use of digital video in feature films with the Sony HDW F900. Red Shark News. 65 Carat Marsh and Kirkland, pp. 147154. 66 Carat Domestic Movie Theatrical Market Summary 1995 to 2018. The numbers. Retrieved. The 8th of September, 2018. Note, in order to provide a fair comparison between movies released in different years, all rankings are based on ticket sales, which are calculated using average ticket prices. Announced by the MPAA in their annual State of the Industry report. Needs. Update. 67 Carat Couch, Aaron, Gallupo, MIA, Kit, Boris, the 21st of October, 2022. Marvel, DC Among Last Bastion 4. Supersized Paydays. The Hollywood Reporter. Retrieved the 27th of October, 2022. 68 Carat Gleberman, Owen, the 19th of June, 2023. Superhero fatigue is real. The Cure. Make better movies than The Flash. Variety. Retrieved the 23rd of March, 2024. 69 Carat Schaff, Zach, the 4th of March, 2024. Paul Dano says superhero fatigue is a welcome moment that will hopefully breathe new life into comic book movies. Quantity over quality is a big misstep. Variety. Retrieved the 23rd of March, 2024. 70 Carat Tyrell, Caitlin, the 18th of October, 2023. Why superhero movies need a little bit of time off according to Kingsman director. Screen Rant. Retrieved the 23rd of March, 2024. 71 Carat Black Widow West Side Story Eternals postpone release dates. Variety. The 23rd of September. 2020. Retrieved 4 October 2020. 72 Perez, Rodrigo, 29 October 2015. Exclusive, all-female Ocean's 11 in the works starring Sandra Bullock, with Gary Ross directing. The playlist. 73 Sullivan, Kevin P. 30th October 2015. Sandra Bullock will lead an all-female Ocean's 11 reboot. Entertainment Weekly. 74 D'Alessandro, Anthony, 16th March 2020. Universal Making Invisible Man, The Hunt and Emma. Available in home on Friday as exhibition braces for shutdown, Trolls sequel to hit cinemas and VOD. Easter weekend. Deadline Hollywood. Archived from the original on the 17th of March 2020. Retrieved the 16th of March 2020. 75 D'Alessandro, Anthony, the 14th of April 2020. Trolls World Tour, drive-in theaters deliver what they can during COVID-19 exhibition shutdown, Easter weekend 2020 box office. Deadline. Archived from the original on the 23rd of April 2020. Retrieved the 14th of April 2020. 76 Universal's Trolls World Tour earns nearly $100 million in first 3 weeks of VOD rentals. The Wrap. The 28th of April 2020. Archived from the original on the 6th of May 2020. Retrieved the 28th of April 2020. 77 Schwartzel, Eric, the 28th of April 2020. WSJ News exclusive Trolls World Tour breaks digital records and charts a new path for Hollywood. The Wall Street Journal. ISSN 0099-9660. Archived from the original on the 28th of April 2020. Retrieved the 28th of April 2020. 78 China shuts down all cinemas, again. The Hollywood Reporter. The 27th of March 2020. Archived from the original on the 23rd of April 2020. Retrieved the 21st of April 2020. 79 Alexander, Julia, the 18th of March 2020. Trolls World Tour could be a case study for Hollywood's digital future. The Verge. Retrieved the 17th of April 2020. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. 80 Alexander, Julia, the 28th of April 2020. AMC theaters will no longer play Universal movies after Trolls World Tour's on-demand success. The Verge. Archived from the original on the 29th of April 2020. Retrieved the 29th of April 2020. 81 D'Alessandro, Anthony, the 28th of July 2020. Universal and AMC theaters make peace, will crunch theatrical window to 17 days with option for PVOD after. Deadline. Retrieved the 3rd of August 2020. 82 Whitten, Sarah, the 28th of July 2020. AMC strikes historic deal with Universal, shortening number of days films need to run in theaters before going digital. CNBC. Retrieved the 3rd of August 2020. 83 Rubin, Rebecca, Donnelly, Matt, the 3rd of December 2020. Warner Brothers to debut entire 2021 film slate, including Dune and Matrix 4, both on HBO Max and in theaters. Variety. Retrieved December 3rd, 2020. 84 Carat Masters, Kim, the 7th of December 2020. Christopher Nolan rips HBO Max as worst streaming service. Denounces Warner Brothers plan. The Hollywood Reporter. The Hollywood Reporter, LLC. Retrieved the 21st of July 2021. 85 Carat ABC Sites, Matt Zoller, the 29th of April 2019. What's Next, Avengers, MCU, Game of Thrones, and the Content Endgame. RogerEbert.com. Ebert Digital LLC. Retrieved the 21st of July 2021. 86 Carat Hannah Avery, the 18th of January 2023. U.S. streaming market growth continues, despite changes in the industry. Kantar.com. 87 Carat Brew, Simon, the 21st of October 2019. Can we stop calling films content now? Film Stories. Film Stories Limited. Retrieved the 22nd of July 2021. 88 Carat Taylor, Alex, the 20th of February 2021. Are streaming algorithms really damaging film? BBC News. British Broadcasting Corporation. Retrieved the 22nd of July 2021. Martin Scorsese has warned that cinema is being devalued, demeaned and reduced by being thrown under the umbrella term content. 89 Carat Shepherd, Alex, the 21st of July 2021. Space Jam, A New Legacy is a peek into the bleak, cynical future of film. The New Republic. Retrieved the 21st of July 2021. 90 Carat A.B. Rivera, Joshua, the 14th of July 2021. Despair, Pitiful Mortals, Space Jam, A New Legacy is the future of entertainment. Polygon. Vox Media, LLC. Retrieved the 22nd of July 2021. 91 Carat A.B. Mendelsohn, Scott, the 14th of July 2021. Space Jam, A New Legacy Review, a feature-length commercial for HBO Max. Forbes. Retrieved the 22nd of July 2021. Quite possibly, as Space Jam, A New Legacy is now a classic example of IP for the sake of IP, a brand extension that exists not because audiences want it but because a studio, and / or the film's star, wants it to continue. 92 Carat Kirby, Kristen Page, the 14th of July 2021. Space Jam, A New Legacy, a feature-length ad for Warner Brothers, rises just above mediocrity. The Washington Post. WP Company LLC. Retrieved the 22nd of July 2021. 93 Carat Taller Show, Brian, the 4th of November 2021. Red Notice Movie Review and Film Summary, 2021. RogerEbert.com. Ebert Digital LLC. Retrieved the 4th of November 2021. 94 Carat Evangelista, Chris, the 4th of November 2021. Red Notice Review, Dwayne Johnson and Ryan Reynolds. Bumble through Netflix's glossy, lifeless action movie. /film. Static Media. Retrieved November 4, 2021. 95 Lee, Benjamin, 4 November 2021. Red Notice Review, Netflix's biggest film to date offers little reward. The Guardian. Guardian News and Media Limited. Retrieved 4 November 2021. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. 96 Ibari, Bilge, 14 July 2021. Space Jam, A New Legacy never thought it could be a good movie. Vulture. Vox Media, LLC. Retrieved 22 July 2021. It criticizes shameless, money-grubbing attempts to synergize and update beloved classics, all the while shamelessly synergizing and updating beloved classics. The studios rarely seem to want to do anything new with their properties other than remind us that they still own them. 97 Solozzi, Mary, 14 July 2021. Space Jam, A New Legacy Review, LeBron James enters the server verse in exhausting reboot. Entertainment Weekly. Meredith Corporation. Retrieved 22 July 2021. 98 Scorsese, Martin. Il Maestro, Federico Fellini and the Lost Magic of Cinema. Harper's Magazine. Volume. March 2021. ISSN 0017-789X. Retrieved 29 August 2023. 99 Taylor, Tom, 13 October 2022. Martin Scorsese calls cinema's profit obsession repulsive. Fairoutemagazine.co.uk. Retrieved 29 August 2023. 100 Mary Kate, 17 November 2022. Quentin Tarantino says current era is tied for worst in film history. The AV Club. Retrieved 29 August 2023. 101 Adkayo, Omicron, 17 November 2022. Quentin Tarantino says the current movie era is one of the worst in Hollywood history. Insider. Retrieved 29 August 2023. 102 Tim, Zach, 14 August 2023. Charlie Kaufman talks AI, WGA strike and slams Hollywood system. The only thing that makes money is garbage, Sarajevo. Deadline. Retrieved 29 August 2023. 103 Schimkowitz, Matt, 15 August 2023. There's nothing confusing about Charlie Kaufman's opinion of Hollywood. The AV Club. Retrieved 29 August 2023. 104 D. Alessandro, Anthony, 22 May 2022. Armageddon Time director James Gray on why studios should be able to lose money on art specialty divisions. Cannes Studio. Deadline. Retrieved 29 August 2023. 105 Brownstein, Ronald, 1990. The Power and the Glitter, The Hollywood-Washington Connection. Pantheon Books. ISBN 0-394-56938-5. 106 US election 2020, will celebrity endorsements help Joe Biden? BBC News. 14 October, 2020. 107 celebrities last-minute pleas to vote, see who's endorsing Biden or Trump. Los Angeles Times. 3 November, 2021. 108 in liberal Hollywood, a conservative minority faces backlash in the age of Trump. Los Angeles Times. 11 March, 2017. Retrieved 4 August, 2023. 109 A.B. Halbfinger, David M. 6 February, 2007. Politicians are doing Hollywood star turns. The New York Times. Retrieved 5 February, 2008. 110 Law and Order, Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, HBO News. 12 September, 2022. Retrieved 29 January, 2023 via YouTube. 111 Person Hager, Ellen, 29 November, 2019. Hollywood Mafia films are skillful propaganda, Kim Longino on why her new film breaks that mold. New Statesman. Retrieved 30 January, 2023. 112 Me Kempson, C. Glantz, Essay. 1 March, 2002. How the tobacco industry built its relationship with Hollywood. Tobacco control. 11, Supple 1I81I91 do, 10.1036/tc.11.supple_1.I81. ISSN 0964 4563. PMC 1766059. PMID 118931818. 113 Tobacco-free, the 22nd of August 2022. Smoking in the movies. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Retrieved 30th of January 2023. 114 A.B. Whalen, Jeannie, 8th of October 2019. China lashes out at Western businesses as it tries to cut support for Hong Kong protests. The Washington Post. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. 115 A.B. South Park ban by China highlights Hollywood tightrope act. Al Jazeera. 10th of October 2019. 116 A.B. Stager, Isabella, 28th of March 2019. Why it's so hard to keep the world focused on Tibet. Quartz. 117 Bissett, Jennifer, 1st of November 2019. Marvel is censoring films for China, and you probably didn't even notice. CNET. 118 Ziegel, Tatiana, 18th of April 2017. Richard Gere's Studio Exile, Why His Hollywood Career Took an Indie Turn. The Hollywood Reporter. 119 ABC Red Carpet, Hollywood, China, and the Battle for Global Supremacy. Eric Schwartzel. 2022. ISBN 9781984879004. 120 Miller, Toby, Gavil, Nitin, Maxwell, Richard, 2005. Global Hollywood 2, 2nd ed. London. Bloomsbury. ISBN 978-1844570393. 121 Wasco, Janet, 2008. Cross-border cultural production, economic runaway or globalization. 1st ed. New York, Cambria Press. ISBN 978-1934043783. 122 Segrave, Kerry, 1997. American Films Abroad, Hollywood's Domination of the World's Movie Screens, 1st ed. Jefferson, McFarland and Company. ISBN 0786403462. 123 Trumpbaugh, John, 2002. Selling Hollywood to the World, U.S. and European Struggles for Mastery of the Global Film Industry, 1920 to 1950, 1st ed. Cambridge, Cambridge University Press. ISBN 0521651565. 124 Millese, Tanner, 2013. Global Entertainment Media, Between Cultural Imperialism and Cultural Globalization, 1st ed. New York, Routledge. ISBN 9780415519823. 125 Millese, Tanner, 2018. Global Hollywood, An Entertainment Imperium, by Integration. Synection. 1, 100. 126 ABC Thompson, Kristen, 2010. Film History, An Introduction. Madison, Wisconsin, McGraw-Hill. ISBN 978-0-07-338613-3. 127 Scott, A.J. 2000. The Cultural Economy of Cities. London, Sage Publications. ISBN 0-7619-5455-4. 128 Shire, Paul, the 9th of April, 2013. Come on Hollywood, is Hollywood going to start being made in China? Joe Blow. Retrieved the 14th of June, 2013. 129 AB Betsy Woodruff, the 23rd of February, 2015. Gender wage gap in Hollywood, it's very, very wide. Slate. 130 Man Kochatarian, the 7th of February, 2014. Female movie stars experience earnings plunge after age 34. Variety. 131 ABCDEFGH Lauzen, Martha. The Celluloid Ceiling, Behind-the-Scenes Employment of Women on the Top 250 Films of 012, PDF. The Center for the Study of Women in Television and Film. San Diego State University. Archived, PDF, from the original on the 26th of February, 2013. Retrieved the 20th of May. 2013. 132 Buckley, Cara, the 11th of March, 2014. Only 15% of top films in 2013 put women in lead roles. Study finds. The New York Times. Retrieved the 12th of March, 2014. 133 Orzillo, Michael, the 10th of May, 2021. Golden Globes cancelled, NBC scraps 2022 ceremony as backlash grows. TV line. Retrieved 10 May 2021. 134-carat Dick Clark Productions and Eldridge acquire Golden Globes. Golden Globes. 12 June 2023. Retrieved 31 August 2023. 135-carat Barnes, Brooks, 12 June 2023. Golden Globes are sold and Hollywood foreign presses know more. The New York Times. ISSN 0362-4331. Retrieved 31 August 2023. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. 136-carat Lee, Kevin, January 2008. The Little State Department, Hollywood and the MPAA's influence on U.S. trade relations. Northwestern Journal of International Law and Business. 28, 2. 137-carat Will the cliché of the Russian baddie ever leave our screens? The Guardian. 10 July 2017. 138-carat Russian film industry and Hollywood uneasy with one another. Fox News. 14 October 2014. 139-carat 5 Hollywood villains that prove Russian stereotypes are hard to kill. The Moscow Times. 9 August 2015. 140-carat Hollywood stereotypes, why are Russians the bad guys? BBC News. 5 November 2014. 141-carat stereotypes of Italian Americans in film and television. Thought Catalogue. 26 March 2018. 142-carat NYC, a stereotype Hollywood can't refuse. The New York Times. 30 July 1999. 143-carat ABC Hollywood stereotypes. ABC News. 144-carat Davison, Heather K. Burke, Michael J. 2000. Sex discrimination in simulated employment. Contexts, a meta-analytic investigation. Journal of Vocational Behavior. 56. 2225248. Do 10.1006/JVBE.1999.1711. 145-carat AB Enrique Perez, Daniel, 2009. Rethinking Chicana/O and Latina/O Popular Culture. Palgrave. Macmillan. pp. 93-95. ISBN 9780230616066. 146-carat Blackface and Hollywood, from Al Holson to Judy Garland to Dave Chappelle. The Hollywood Reporter. 12 February 2019. 147-carat A.B. Watts, Stephanie, 17 February 2017. Moonlight and the Performativity of Masculinity. 1. Room with a View. Retrieved 11 February 2019. 148-carat Fields, Errol, 2016. The intersection of socio-cultural factors and health-related behavior in lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender youth, experiences among young black gay males as an example. Pediatric Clinics of North America. 63, 6 1091 1106 do. 10.1016/J.PCL.2016.07.009. PMC 5127594. PMID 278653335. 149 Variety Staff, the 2nd of June 2015. Cameron Crowe on casting Emma Stone. I offer you a heartfelt apology. Variety. Retrieved the 3rd of June 2015. 150 Gajewski, Ryan, the 23rd of May 2015. Cameron Crowe's Deep Tiki criticized for depicting whitewashed Hawaii. The Hollywood Reporter. Retrieved the 29th of May 2015. 151 McNary, Dave, the 27th of May 2015. Sony defends Deep Tiki after whitewashing criticism. Variety. Retrieved the 19th of December 2018. 152 Lee, Elizabeth, the 28th of February 2013. YouTube spawns Asian American celebrities. VAO News. Archived from the original on the 18th of February 2013. Retrieved the 4th of March 2013. 153 Kelly, Sanaya, the 19th of August 2018. Crazy Rich Asians dominates the box office, makes history for representation. Los Angeles Times. Archived from the original on the 6th of September 2018. Retrieved the 10th of September 2018. 154 Always Be My Maybe, 2019. Rotten Tomatoes. Retrieved the 11th of November 2020. 155 Was Disney wrong to cast Naomi Scott as Jasmine in the new Aladdin film? Here's why people are angry. The 17th of July 2017. Archived from the original on the 7th of September 2017. Retrieved the 7th of September 2017. 156 Aladdin, Disney defends making up white actors to blend in during crowd scenes. BBC News. The 7th of January 2018. Archived from the original on the 11th of January 2018. Retrieved the 12th of January 2018. 157 Disney accused of browning up white actors for various Asian roles in Aladdin. The Independent. The 7th of January 2018. Archived from the original on the 14th of January 2018. Retrieved the 14th of January 2018. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. 158 Pallone, Gavin, the 23rd of May 2012. The Unglamorous, Punishing Hours of Working on a Hollywood Set. New York Magazine. Retrieved the 20th of March 2022. 159 Blessing, Eton, the 14th of December 2021. Global unions call to end long hours culture for film, TV workers. The Hollywood Reporter. Retrieved the 20th of March 2022. 160 Horn, Gerald, 2001. Class Struggle in Hollywood, 1930–1950. University of Texas Press. ISBN 978-0-292-73138-7. Archived from the original on 12 August 2022. Retrieved 20 March 2022. 161 Kelly, Kim, 23 April 2019. Hollywood's labor force has always had to fight for workers' rights. Teen Vogue. 162 Rob, David, 3 August 2022. SAG-AFTRA collects $1 billion in member dues and non-member fees in its first 10 years as membership climbs to record highs. Deadline Hollywood. 163 Verhoeven, Beatrice, 24 September 2021. DGA, SAG-AFTRA, WGA East stand with the eights in negotiations with AMPTP. The Wrap. 164 Rob, David, 30 December 2021. How unions saved Hollywood during the pandemic. Deadline Hollywood. 165 Ellingson, Ann Lee, 18 June 2014. E8 launches letter-writing campaign for California film and TV. Tax credits. LA Business Journal. 166 Fofender, Ryan, 19 October 2021. Hollywood avoided an E8 strike, but broader labor issues aren't going away. 167 Mires, Hadley, 23 November 2021. How the bloody Hollywood strike of 1945 forever changed the film business. Elist. Notes, edit. Early, Stephen C. 1978. An Introduction to American Movies. New American Library. Fraser, George MacDonald, 1988. The Hollywood History of the World, from 1 Million Years BC to Apocalypse Now. London, M. Joseph, 1st USED, New York, Beechtree Books. Both eds. Collate thus, 19, 268 p. Amply ill. B&W Photos. ISBN 0-7181-2997-0, UKED, 0. 688-07520-7, USED. Gabler, Neil, 1988. An Empire of Their Own, How the Jews Invented Hollywood. Crown. ISBN 0-385-26557-3. Scott, A.J. 2000. The Cultural Economy of Cities. London, Sage Publications. ISBN 0-7619. 5455-4. Further reading, edit. Hallett, Hilario. Go West, Young Women. The Rise of Early Hollywood. Berkeley, CA. University of California Press, 2013. May, Larry, 1983. Screening Out the Past, The Birth of Mass Culture and the Motion Picture Industry. University of Chicago Press. ISBN 9780226511733. Ragan, David. Who's Who in Hollywood, 1900–1976. New Rochelle, NY, Arlington House, 1976. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. External links, edit. Doen thu phim Micah trn thun train box office Vietnam. Media related to cinema of the United States at Wikimedia Commons. Categories: Cinema of the United States, Industry in the United States. Culture of Hollywood, Los Angeles, History of the United States by topic. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF.